So today we are going to invest our time and efforts into an aspect of land management that does not get talked about enough, and that's planting trees. When you look at land management, so often we talk about planting those annuals and perennials and the cultivated forage, and we don't often talk about the long game of land management, which is timber management, and planting trees and planting the right trees, and investing in mast and fruit that are gonna be resources that provide for our wildlife and our deer and even our own benefit at times for decades, not just for the fall or for the summer. So I'm excited about this one. So what's pretty neat about working with the Oregon brand family and the Woods Equipment product on this project that we're getting to do here in Northeast Missouri is that there's a lot of heritage to this brand. This is actually their 75th year as a company. We're celebrating our 40th year at North American Whitetail, so we can relate and we understand what brand legacy is, and what the Oregon brand has involved themselves with is an initiative called the Tree Initiative. So training, recovery, environment, and education are the four letters of the acronym. Training. They're working on training up-and-coming foresters or educational programs that include forestry as part of it. You get into recovery and you're talking about disaster relief in some cases. Any type of an emergency where there's downed trees or timber management going on. Oregon's actually investing with their disaster relief trailers in helping the communities, sharpening chainsaw chains, to keep guys moving trees off the road so that they can keep doing their job and recovering, helping that community recover. And then you get into the environment aspect, and through the COVID era, they started a program called the Run, Walk, Bike program, where they're encouraging people to get outside and be active in the outdoors. And that has evolved into them partnering with another organization, Tree Nation, where for every mile or kilometer that has been traveled and documented through that program, they are planting a tree with Tree Nation. And then the last D is the education process. So they're investing in the future of forestry and programs that involve forestry or chainsaw use or tool use, making sure that there's proper education around those disciplines and then the tools that come with them. Now, after our food plots, we got to take care of those trees, and we're actually going to give back and we're going to plant a few trees, right? And the hope with that is that long beyond these days, you guys will be able to come back and look at what you've done. And you're going to see some of this work. You have something to remember it by. So let's talk about what we're going to be planting and where we're going to be planting it. So first of all, we're going to be planting Bartlett pears. Pear trees are a great food source for late summer. Again, we're filling in those gaps that cultivated forage and mast kind of leave throughout the calendar. So we have an area that comes off a big bluff where our deer like to bed, especially in the winter months. But as they come off of that bluff, headed down towards the cultivated forage, they're going to hit oak trees just before it. They'll hit the pear trees, and then they hit what we call a soft edge, which is an area of security. But they're gonna have bedding, oaks, pears, soft edge, which has blackberries and security cover, and then right there into their destination cultivated plot. And just on the other side, guess what? There's water. So we're purposely going in and designing in this fashion, and those pear trees are gonna fit right into the middle, just like they fit right into the calendar of forage. All right, you ready, guys? Let's grab our stuff. Here we go. All right, Z.
Get the shovel.
You got those? Okay. Wilder, you got the shovel? All right, Stone, let me get you a tree.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Remember how I talked about space, staying back?
Yep.
You two older boys are gonna stand back. All right, and how deep do we want it? Remember?
Like a foot deep.
About a foot deep, okay. So I'm gonna open this window, and you guys just wave your hand when we hit about 12 inches, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Everybody stand back now. So today we are going to be using a mechanical piece of equipment that's gonna allow for us to dig this hole a lot easier, and that is a post digger from Woods Equipment. So this piece of equipment specifically is the PD 9550. So this is a 3-point attachment. It is PTO driven, and we're gonna be using the 9-inch auger. So it's gonna bore a 9-inch hole, is what that means, which is a really good size of hole for these 1-inch trees that we're gonna be planting. If you were to compare it to the little root bucket that these planters come in when they're delivered to you, it's about the size of that bucket. So what we're gonna do is try to dig it out just slightly larger than that, which the auger will do naturally. And we're gonna dig about a 12-inch hole, something big enough to cover that, and we'll fill back in around it. What is one thing, Wilder, that you learned from doing this today?
Loosen up the roots.
Loosen up the roots? How we do it with what do we use?
A knife.
A knife, yeah, good job. What about you, Z, man? What's one thing you learned?
Before you put it in the ground, you gotta loosen the roots with a knife.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we got that part down. What about you, Stone Man?
If you plant it like kind of closer to September or August, you have to put the guard on it so the deer don't rub their antlers on it.
Hey, that's a good one too. We want to protect what we've invested our time and money in, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, well, good work, everybody. Wilder, I think we probably ought to go get you cleaned up. What do you think? All right, let's go.